Tonight? He raises his fist while my mother raises her phone not to call 911, but to record. I've paid their bills for 3 years straight, but turns out what they needed wasn't money. It was someone docile to destroy. When I hit record on my own device, the game shifts, and for the first time in my life, they want information from me more than they want my cash. The real question isn't why I stayed this long. It's what I'm planning to do with all this evidence. My name is Avery Cole, and I'm 31 years old, working as an operations coordinator at North Star Freight Systems in Ridgeview, Colorado. I've always lived simply a one-bedroom apartment, a reliable Honda, home-cooked meals. The extra money goes to my mother, Diane, who remarried Vince Marlowe 4 years ago. Every month like clockwork, $1,800 leaves my account and enters theirs. For the mortgage, Mom always says, though Vince hasn't held a steady job since they married. Saturday dinners at their house have become a ritual I dread. Tonight is no different. I arrive at 6:30 p.m. with a bottle of wine and lowered expectations. Their ranch-style home looks pristine from the outside. The lawn I pay to maintain is immaculate. The paint, fresh from last summer's renovation, I funded. About time. Vince greets me at the door, already 3 beers deep. His breath reeks of cheap lager. Mom's in the kitchen, stirring something that smells burnt. We make it through appetizers before the explosion. Vince slams the electric bill on the table. $347. This is insane. I'll transfer it tomorrow, I say quietly, cutting my chicken. Tomorrow. His face reddens. Bills are due now. You think we're your personal charity case. The irony burns my throat. I pay most of your bills, Vince. That's when it happens. He stands so fast his chair topples backward. His hand connects with my face, not a closed fist, but an open palm that sends me sideways. My wine glass shatters on the floor. The second hit is harder, knuckles this time, catching my mouth. I taste copper. Vince, please, Mom says from the doorway. But she doesn't move. She's holding her phone at an odd angle, and I realize with sick clarity she's recording. Not to protect me, not for evidence against him. She's documenting this for some twisted insurance policy of her own. Don't make this bigger than it needs to be, she tells me. Me. While blood drips from my split lip onto her cream carpet. The doorbell rings. Mr. Ortega from next door, asking if everything's all right. He heard the crash. Vince transforms instantly, laughing about clumsy Avery dropping things again. Mom nods along, her phone now tucked in her apron pocket. I stand on shaking legs, grab my purse. I'm leaving. Drama queen, Vince mutters, settling back into his chair like nothing happened. Mom walks me to the door, whispers, You know how he gets about money. Maybe send it earlier next month. I look at her face, searching for the mother who used to bandage my skinned knees, who stayed up all night when I had the flu. She's gone, replaced by this stranger who films my humiliation while suggesting I pay my attacker faster. The drive home takes 17 minutes. I pull over twice to sob, then stop. Tears won't help, but the throbbing in my jaw gives me clarity I've never had before. They want my money. Fine. They've gotten their last cent. What they don't know is that I've been documenting everything too. Every transfer, every receipt, every text message begging for more. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Don't forget the electric bill, and we need $800 for car repairs. I don't respond. Instead, I take photos of my swelling face in my rearview mirror. The bruise is already forming, purple-blue like spilled ink. This is the last mark they'll ever leave on me. Sunday morning. I sit at my kitchen table with 3 years of bank statements spread before me like evidence of my stupidity. $1,800 monthly, plus emergencies, new water heater, roof repair, Vince's truck transmission. The calculator shows $64,800 total. That's not including the birthday cash, Christmas bonuses I forwarded, or the vacation fund I emptied when Mom called crying about foreclosure notices. My cousin Marla sends a video from last week's family barbecue. Look how fun this was. You should have come. I almost delete it, then notice I'm in the background of one shot. No, they're talking about me. I turn up the volume. Where's your ATM today? Uncle Rick asks, and everyone laughs. Working overtime, probably. Vince responds. Beer raised. That girl owes Diane everything. We keep a roof over her head all those years. Least she can do is return the favor. Amen to that. Mom chimes in. She owes me for life. Do you know how hard it was raising her alone? Every penny helps pay that debt back. The phone slips from my numb fingers. A roof over my head. I moved out at 18, worked through community college, never asked for a dime. Mom remarried when I was 23. The narrative they've built is so twisted I can't breathe. I call the mortgage company Monday morning, pretending to be Mom to check the balance. 5 payments left. $22,000 remaining on a house worth $300,000. They're 5 months from owning it free and clear. Thanks to my money. The spreadsheet I build is meticulous. Every Venmo, Zelle, bank transfer documented with dates and screenshots. The emergency texts from Mom paired with the payments I sent within hours. The pattern is clear. They ask. I give. They demand more. Tuesday. I dig deeper. Vince's Facebook is public, full of photos from concerts, restaurants, sporting events, all while claiming they can barely afford groceries. There's a post from 3 weeks ago. Blessed to have family who supports each other. Family first. Grateful. The comments make me sick. You deserve it. Such a hard worker. Nobody knows he's been unemployed for 8 months. Then I find the smoking gun. A text thread Mom accidentally included me in, meant for her sister Paula. Avery's good for another $2,000 this month. Told her the property taxes were overdue. She believes that every time. Girls got guilt I trained into her young. She'll never stop paying. Even got her thinking she owes us for existing. I screenshot everything before they realize their mistake and delete it. 20 minutes later, Mom texts separately. Honey, ignore that earlier thread. Just planning your birthday surprise. My birthday was 6 months ago. Wednesday brings another revelation. My coworker Jules mentioned seeing Vince at the food bank. He was loading up his truck, saying how tough times are. Nobody helps them out. The food bank, I repeat. Yeah, and St. Lucas Church gives them a monthly stipend. My mom's on the charity board. They've been receiving aid for 2 years. 2 years. 24 months of church charity while I bled myself dry, sending them $1,800 monthly. They're double-dipping, taking from charity, claiming poverty while draining my accounts. I email the church anonymously, asking about their assistance requirements. The response is clear: aid is for families with no other means of support. Lying on the application is fraud. Thursday night. Mom calls. The car needs new tires. $800 should cover it. I can't, I say simply. What do you mean you can't? You have that good job. We're family. Avery. Family helps family. Like you helped me Saturday night. Silence. Then, defensive. That was a misunderstanding. Vince was stressed. You know how men are about their pride. His pride costs me $1,800 a month. Don't be dramatic. We'll talk about this later. Just send the tire money. I hang up. My spreadsheet now shows everything: $64,000 in direct payments, $12,000 in extras, and evidence they've been receiving church aid the entire time. The mortgage they guilt me about would have been paid off years ago without Vince's gambling losses. Another thing I discovered in Mom's texts. They haven't just been taking my money. They've been stealing my future while laughing about it behind my back, calling me their personal ATM, their cash cow, the guilty fool they trained to pay for existing. The woman who gave birth to me watches her husband hit me and asks when the next payment arrives. The last entry in my spreadsheet is today's date. Next to it, I type, final payment 0. Balance owed to parents already overpaid. Friday morning, I install a Ring doorbell camera and change every password on every account. My Samsung watch gets a new app that records audio with one tap. The landlord doesn't ask questions when I request the extra deadbolt. By noon, my apartment is a fortress. At work, Jules notices my fading bruise despite the concealer. Jesus, Avery, what happened? Family dinner got out of hand. She doesn't laugh. You need help. My ex was a piece of shit too. I know a lawyer. Actually, yes. That afternoon, I meet Rena Carter at the free legal clinic downtown. She's sharp, early 40s, with eyes that have seen too many cases like mine. Domestic violence from a stepfather, mother as witness and enabler. She summarizes after reviewing my evidence. The financial abuse is extensive. You have grounds for a restraining order and potentially fraud charges for the church aid. What do I need? More documentation of physical threats or violence. Colorado's a one-party consent state. You can legally record any conversation you're part of. Get everything in writing or on tape. I also connect with Mr. Ortega, my parents' neighbor. I heard the commotion Saturday, he admits. Been worrying about you. If you need witness testimony, I'm here. The weekend brings the expected harassment. 17 missed calls from Mom, 23 texts escalating from confusion to rage. What's wrong with your phone? The mortgage is due Monday. Avery, this is childish. You're being selfish. After everything we've done for you, Vince is getting upset. You're destroying this family. Answer your phone now. I document every message, then send one response Sunday night. I will no longer be providing financial support. Please budget accordingly. Any further communication should be directed to my attorney, Rena Carter. I include Rena's contact information. Monday at 7:45 a.m. Vince shows up at my apartment. The camera catches everything, his fist pounding the door. His threats. Open this fucking door, Avery. You think you can just cut us off? I know you're in there. I'm recording on my watch, sitting silent on my couch. Your mother's crying because of you. What kind of daughter abandons her family? You owe us. The camera captures him, kicking the door frame. Mr. Henderson from 3B comes out, tells him to leave or he's calling the cops. Vince spits on my doormat before storming off. Tuesday. Mom tries a different approach. She shows up at North Star Freight during my lunch break. Security won't let her in without an appointment. So she texts, I'm in the parking lot. We need to talk. Please. I meet her by her car. Watch recording. Avery, honey, let's be reasonable. We're family. You watched him hit me. That's an exaggeration. He was upset. You know how you provoke him. I provoke him by existing. She sighs like I'm a difficult child. The house payment is due. Just this month. Then we can work something out. The house with 5 payments left. The one you've been lying about for years while collecting church charity. Her face goes white. Who told you? Does St. Lucas know you've been getting $1,800 from me monthly while claiming no family support? You wouldn't dare. I already have. Fraud is a felony. Mom. She grabs my wrist, nails digging in. You vindictive little bitch. After everything I sacrificed, I pull free. Everything's being recorded. Keep digging your hole. Wednesday brings a voicemail from Vince. You think you're smart. Wait until you need something. Wait until you're alone and desperate. Nobody else will put up with your shit like we have. I forward it to Rena. Thursday, I execute phase 2. I compile everything into organized folders, financial abuse spreadsheets, bank records, text admissions, physical assault photos, medical documentation, witness statements, threats voicemails, texts, video from my door camera, fraud evidence church correspondence, their assistance applications. My payment records. Rena reviews everything Friday morning. This is enough for a temporary restraining order. We can file Monday. The church fraud is a separate issue, but I'd recommend reporting it. What about getting my money back? Possible through civil court. The evidence is strong. They've admitted in writing they don't need it. I spend the weekend backing up everything to 3 different cloud services and a physical drive in Jules's safe. I also draft a factual timeline of events. No emotion, just facts with supporting evidence cited. My phone stays quiet Saturday. Too quiet. Mom's last text sits unread. You're going to regret this. Sunday at 11 p.m. A brick goes through my car windshield in the apartment parking lot. The security camera catches a figure in a hoodie, but the build is unmistakably Vince. Attached is a note, "Family helps family," or else. I call the police, file a report, add it to my evidence folder. The officer taking my statement looks at my bruised face photos, the door camera footage, the brick. "You need a restraining order," she says. "First thing Monday morning." I promise. I don't sleep that night. Instead, I organize my final preparation, every piece of evidence categorized, every interaction logged. They wanted my money. Now they'll get my attention in court, on record, where their lies can't hide. The calculator on my desk shows the total again, $76,000 given to two people who see me as nothing but a wallet with guilt. Monday. That changes. Monday. I stop being their victim and become their reckoning. Monday morning comes with violence. I'm carrying groceries to my door at 9:15 a.m. when Vince appears from behind the stairwell. He's been waiting. "Thought you could hide behind lawyers." He shoves me hard against the wall. The grocery bags split, eggs smashing on concrete. My watch is recording. "Get away from me, or what you'll call your little attorney." He grabs my shoulders, slams me back again. My head cracks against the brick. "You cost us the church money. They suspended our aid because of your lies." The truth isn't a lie. Vince. His fist connects with my ribs. I double over, gasping. Behind him, I see Mom standing by their car, watching, just watching, not calling for help, not intervening, just witnessing her husband assault her daughter in broad daylight. "Mom," I manage to yell, "are you really just going to stand there?" She steps closer, and for a moment I think she'll help. Instead, she says, "You brought this on yourself. Avery, we asked nicely." Vince raises his hand again, but Mrs. Patterson from 4C comes out with her phone raised. "I'm calling the police. I'm recording everything." He backs off immediately, hands up like he's innocent. "Just a family discussion." "That's assault," Mrs. Patterson says firmly. "Avery, are you okay?" I'm not. My ribs scream with each breath. My head throbs, and something warm trickles down my neck. But I stay standing. "Please call the police." They arrive in 12 minutes. The officers take photos of my injuries, my neighbor's video, my watch recording. Vince tries his charm. "Officers, this is a misunderstanding. Family dispute. You know how daughters can be dramatic." "Sir, we have video evidence of you striking her. She owes us money, thousands of dollars." The officer turns to me. "Ma'am, do you want to press charges?" "Yes." They arrest him. Mom finally speaks up then, shrieking about injustice, about ungrateful daughters, about family betrayal. She's lying. She's always been a liar. Check her mental health records. There are no mental health records, but her accusation is noted in the report. At the emergency room, they document everything: bruised ribs, mild concussion, various contusions. The nurse is gentle but thorough. "Domestic violence?" she asks quietly. "Stepfather, mother was present." She makes additional notes, takes more photos. "You're doing the right thing." That afternoon, Vince posts bail. By evening, he's on Facebook, falsely accused by ungrateful family member. Some people forget who raised them, who sacrificed everything. Truth will come out. The comments pour in from people who don't know the real story. I screenshot everything, especially the ones where he admits being there but claims I fell. Tuesday. Mom escalates online. She posts in our neighborhood Facebook group, warning about dangerous person spreading lies about good Christian family. Avery Cole has mental problems and is trying to destroy her parents who only loved her. Pray for us. Rachel Martinez, who runs the group, removes the post and messages me, "I'm so sorry. That's clearly defamation. I've banned her." But Mom's already moved to other platforms: Twitter, Instagram, even LinkedIn. My daughter is sick and needs help. She's attacking us for asking her to contribute to household expenses after we supported her for years. The lies are so bold they take my breath away. Supported me, I have pay stubs from age 16. I have college loan documents in my name only. I have rental agreements from the day I turned 18. Wednesday. Rena files for the emergency restraining order. The judge reviews the hospital records, arrest report, and video evidence. Granted, she says. Mr. Marlowe and Mrs. Marlowe are ordered to stay 500 feet away from Ms. Cole, her residence, and workplace. No contact through third parties. That night, they violate it. Not directly, they're too smart for that. But Vince's brother Kyle shows up at my door at 11:30 p.m. Avery, this has gone too far. They're family. Drop the charges. I don't open the door. You're violating the restraining order by being here on their behalf. Come on, don't be like that. I'm calling the police. He leaves, but not before kicking my door. The camera catches it all. Thursday brings a new low. A photo of me surfaces on a revenge porn site, not nude, but edited to look compromising. The IP trace leads back to a computer at the public library, logged in under Vince's library card number. He's stupid enough to use his own account. Rena adds cyber harassment to our list. Friday. The church calls. Mrs. Keegan's voice is cold. We've completed our investigation. The Marlowes obtained $4,800 in aid through false pretenses. We're pressing charges and seeking full restitution. They lied to you for 2 years. I confirm. While taking your money, we have their application stating no family support. Your bank records prove otherwise. Mr. Cole, I'm deeply sorry for what you've endured. The irony that the church shows more concern than my mother isn't lost on me. That afternoon, I'm at work when security calls. Ms. Cole, there's a disturbance in the parking lot. On the cameras, I watch Mom screaming at my car, Vince spray painting liar on the hood. They don't know about the new security system Jules helped install 4 angles. All recording. The police arrive while they're still there, violating a restraining order, vandalism, harassment, both arrested. This time, bail is revoked for Vince due to the violation. Mom calls from jail using her one phone call to leave a voicemail. You've destroyed everything. I wish I'd never had you. I save it to the evidence file. Her words should hurt, but they're just confirmation of what I've always suspected. I was never a daughter to her. I was an investment, a retirement plan, a wallet with guilt she could access at will. The bruises on my ribs have turned purple-green. My head still aches, but I'm clearer than I've ever been. They chose this war. They chose violence over conversation, escalation over resolution. Every time I offered boundaries, they responded with force. Now they're learning that force works both ways, except mine comes with legal documents, evidence trails, and consequences they never saw coming. Saturday morning, I draft the email that will change everything. Simple subject line, the truth about Diane and Vince Marlowe. Recipients every family member, the Neighborhood Association, St. Lucas Church Board, and 37 mutual Facebook friends whose emails I found. The message is clinical, factual. I am writing to correct false information being spread about me and to present documented evidence of financial abuse, physical assault, and fraud. Attached, you will find bank records showing $76,000 transferred to Diane and Vince Marlowe over 3 years, medical documentation of assault injuries inflicted by Vince Marlowe, video evidence of physical attack, doorbell camera footage, audio recordings of threats and extortion attempts, screenshots of defamatory social media posts, police reports and arrest records, evidence of fraud against St. Lucas Church charity program. I am not seeking sympathy or taking sides. I am providing facts. The legal system will handle the rest. I attach 15 files, each labeled clearly. Then I hit send. The response is immediate. Aunt Paula calls first. Avery, is this real? Diane said you were having mental problems. The evidence speaks for itself. The video. I watched him hit you. She just stood there. Yes. Oh my God. Uncle Rick texts, I'm sorry for the cash cow comment. I didn't know. Cousin Marla, Mom is freaking out. She says Diane's been lying to everyone. The Neighborhood Association president, Tom Walsh, Emails within an hour. Ms. Cole, thank you for bringing this to our attention. We've suspended the Marlows from all community activities pending review. But the strongest response comes from St. Lucas. Father Miguel calls personally. Miss Cole, I've reviewed everything with our board. We're appalled. Beyond the fraud charges, we're issuing a formal statement to the congregation. No one should endure what you have. I don't want to hurt the church, I say. You haven't. They hurt the church by stealing from funds meant for truly desperate families. Sunday's 10 a.m. service includes an announcement. Jules attends and reports back. Father Miguel didn't name names, but everyone knows. He talked about wolves in sheep's clothing, about those who steal from charity while bleeding their own children dry. Mrs. Patterson was crying. The Hendersons walked out when someone defending your mom tried to speak. The social media explosion is swift. The neighborhood Facebook group fills with shocked comments under a post Tom Walsh makes about standing against domestic violence and financial abuse in our community. Someone leaks the arrest records. Vince's mugshot goes viral in local Twitter. Mom's sister Bethany drives in from Denver, calls me from her hotel. I saw everything you sent. I'm going to the house to get some answers. She calls back 2 hours later. Diane's lost it. She's saying you fabricated everything, that the videos are fake, that you owe her for being born. She actually said those words, she owes me for being born. I told her she's sick. What did she say? That you were always ungrateful, that she deserved the money for putting up with you. Avery, I had no idea she was this twisted. Monday brings lawyers. Not Rena, she's mine, but 3 others. Vince has a public defender for the criminal case. Mom hired someone for her charges. And surprisingly, the family attorney who handled Grandma's estate years ago. Ms. Cole, Attorney Harrison calls. I'm reviewing some discrepancies. Your grandmother left you $30,000 in her will. You never received it. My stomach drops. What? No. Mom said there was nothing. I have the disbursement records here, signed by you, allegedly, when you were 19. I never signed anything. The signature doesn't match your other documents. We may have another fraud case. The betrayal deepens. Grandma's money meant for my education stolen before I knew it existed. Tuesday. Vince's brother Kyle posts a GoFundMe. Help Vince and Diane Marlowe fight false accusations. Goal $25,000. Within hours. My evidence email gets forwarded to the fundraising platform. Wednesday morning, the campaign is removed for violating terms of service fraud. Local news picks up the story. Ridgeview parents arrested for assault. Church fraud runs in the online edition. They use Vince's mugshot and courthouse steps footage. Comments pour in from strangers horrified by parents who would steal from both charity and their own child. Mom breaks the restraining order to email from a library computer. You've ruined us. No one will hire Vince now. We'll lose the house because of you. I hope you're happy. You vindictive monster. I forward it to the prosecutor. Another violation charge added. Thursday. Consequences multiply. Vince's old employer, who'd been considering rehiring him, calls Rena. We saw the news. We're withdrawing our offer and providing a statement about his past workplace violence if needed. The country club where Mom plays tennis revokes her membership. The HOA sends a warning about potential fines for the police visits. Their world shrinks as mine expands with support. Mrs. Keegan from St. Lucas sends a personal note. The church is establishing the Avery Cole Foundation to help adult children escape financial abuse. Your story will help others. I cry for the first time since this started, not from pain, but from validation. Friday brings the final blow to their reputation. The local paper runs an op-ed by a domestic violence counselor. The Marlowe case shows how financial abuse enables physical violence. When parents view children as property, as debts to be collected, violence becomes justified in their minds. She quotes my evidence email. They called her their cash cow while collecting charity meant for the truly needy. The comment section explodes. Former classmates share stories of Mom's materialism. Previous neighbors recall Vince's temper. Church members express disgust at the deception. Mom and Vince become pariahs in 24 hours. The same community that once smiled at their Facebook posts now crosses streets to avoid them. Their narrative of the ungrateful daughter collapses under the weight of video evidence and $76,000 in bank transfers. My phone buzzes with support from numbers I don't recognize. People sharing their own stories of family financial abuse, thanking me for speaking up, asking how they can help. I don't want their help. I want what Vince and Mom took, not just money, but years of self-doubt, guilt, and manipulation disguised as love. That's gone forever. But watching their manufactured reputation crumble into dust, that's a start. The email that took 10 minutes to write has dismantled their lies in less than a week. Truth, it turns out, travels faster than decades of deception, and it burns everything false in its path. Saturday afternoon, I meet Mom at a Starbucks downtown. Public, recorded, witnessed. She's out on bail, looking haggard. The designer purse I bought her last Christmas is gone, replaced by a worn tote. She chose the table in the corner, but I redirect us to one by the window, in full view of everyone. "We can fix this," she starts immediately. "Drop the charges. Tell everyone it was a misunderstanding." I set my phone on the table, recording app visible. This conversation is being recorded. Her face hardens. "After everything I did for you. Tell me exactly what you did for me, Mom. I gave you life. I raised you. You gave birth to me. That doesn't create a debt, and you were legally obligated to raise me until 18. I've been gone 13 years. You were such a difficult child. Do you know what I sacrificed?" "No, tell me, with specifics." She falters. "Well, everything. My youth, my career. You were 27 when you had me. You chose to be a stay-at-home mom. Dad paid everything until he died when I was 12. Then his life insurance covered us until you remarried. That money ran out. I have the records, Mom. $600,000 in life insurance. The house was paid off. You had no debt. Where did it go? Silence. Gambling. I press. Shopping Vince's debts. You don't understand what it's like being alone. I was 12. I lost my father. You lost a husband but gained a fortune. Then you found Vince and decided I was your personal ATM. She leans forward, switching tactics. Honey, please, we're family. Family forgives. Family doesn't watch while someone beats their daughter. That's an exaggeration. I have the video. Vince is stressed about money. The money I was giving you or the church charity you were stealing. Her mask drops completely. You vindictive little bitch. You've destroyed our lives. No, Mom. You destroyed our relationship the moment you chose him over me. I chose stability. I chose not being alone. You'll understand when you're older. When you're desperate. I'm 31. I've been alone since 18. I'm not desperate. I'm free. Free. She laughs bitterly. You're pathetic. Working your little job, living in that cramped apartment, no husband, no children. At least I have someone. You have someone who hits your daughter while you watch, who steals from charity, who's currently in jail for assault. He loves me. He loves your access to my money. That's not... She stops, calculating. If you drop the charges, we can work out a payment plan, pay you back over time. With what money? You're both unemployed. The house with 5 payments left that'll be gone to legal fees and fraud restitution. Her hands shake. Avery, please, I'm your mother. No, you're the woman who gave birth to me. A mother protects her children. A mother doesn't film their assault for insurance. A mother doesn't steal their inheritance. What inheritance? Grandma's $30,000. Attorney Harrison found the forged signature. She goes white. That was family money. That was my money. Left specifically to me, for college. You didn't need it. I have $40,000 in student loans. Mom, I work 60 hours a week. I've eaten ramen for dinner more times than I can count while you and Vince ate steak on my money. We'll pay it back. How, when, with what? She reaches for my hand. I pull away. Don't touch me. Avery, here's what's going to happen. You're going to therapy. Real therapy. Not church counseling. You're going to admit what you did publicly. In court. On record. You're going to pay restitution. And you're going to leave me alone forever. Forever, I'm your mother. You made your choice. You chose Vince. You chose money. You chose to watch him hurt me and ask when the next payment would arrive. That's not fair. Fair, I stand up. Fair would have been having a mother who loved me more than money. Fair would have been protecting me instead of exploiting me. Fair would have been not stealing my inheritance and my future. If you do this, you'll have no family. I haven't had family in years. I had users, parasites, abusers with my DNA. You'll regret this when I'm dead. The only thing I regret is not cutting you off sooner. She starts crying. Not real tears, I've seen those exactly twice in my life. These are manipulation tears, the ones that used to work when I was young and desperate for approval. Your tears don't work anymore, I tell her. What kind of person are you? She gasps between sobs. The kind who survived you. I leave her there, making a scene for strangers who don't know her history. The barista catches my eye, gives me a small nod. She heard enough. In the parking lot, I find a note on my windshield. You're a terrible daughter. Family is everything. You'll burn in hell. The grammar tells me it's from Mom's friend Linda. I photograph it, add it to the file. Evidence of harassment, witness intimidation. That evening, Mom texts, "You've killed me. I hope you're happy." I should have gotten rid of you when I had the chance. I screenshot it, forward it to Rena and the prosecutor. It's the first time she's been honest about how she really feels. In writing, on record, she made her choice every day for years. She chose him, chose money, chose the lie of being a victim while victimizing me. Today, she chose threats over accountability. Tomorrow, the court will see every choice she made, and I'll choose something she never gave me justice. Monday morning, I send Vince a text through Rena. Your personal belongings from the family photos are ready for pickup. Tuesday, 2 p.m., Ridgeview Police Station parking lot, public exchange zone. He responds within minutes through his lawyer. I want everything that's mine, and we need to talk about you dropping these bullshit charges. Perfect. He took the bait. I spend Monday night preparing. 3 boxes of his things from old family photos, trophies from his high school football days. A watch my father once wore that somehow ended up with him. Some tools he left at my apartment months ago. Each item photographed, cataloged. But the real preparation is the script I practice with Rena. Don't engage beyond the necessary words. She coaches. Let him hang himself. Tuesday, 1:45 p.m. I arrive at the police station's designated exchange zone. 8 cameras cover every angle. Officer Martinez, who took my first report, happens to be on break nearby. Jules sits in her car 3 spaces over, recording. Rena waits in her office across the street, ready to file papers the moment we're done. Vince arrives at 1:58 p.m. in his brother's truck. Mom's in the passenger seat, violation number 1. She's supposed to stay 500 feet away. They both get out, violation number 2. Well, look who finally showed up, Vince says, approaching aggressively. The lying little bitch who destroyed our lives. I stay by my car, phone visible in my hand. Recording. Your belongings are in these boxes. Fuck the boxes. You're dropping these charges today. Please take your items and leave. He kicks the first box, sending trophies scattering. You owe us everything. Every fucking penny you made came from what we taught you. What did you teach me, Vince? How to be something instead of the worthless piece of shit you were when I met you. I remain calm. I was 23 when you met me. I already had my degree, my job, my apartment. You had nothing. Your mom was broke, desperate, and I saved both of you. My mother received $600,000 in life insurance. How was she broke? His face reddens. That's none of your fucking business. It is when you spent it all and then demanded my money. He steps closer. Officer Martinez stands up. Sir, maintain distance. This is a family conversation. Vince snaps at him. It's a legal exchange in a police zone. Step back. Vince retreats 2 steps, then pulls out his phone. You know what, I've got videos too. Your mom recorded you being disrespectful, violent. Please share those with the court. I say calmly. I'd love to see them. Mom finally speaks from by the truck. Avery, just give us what we need. $5,000 to get through this month. Then we'll leave you alone. You're violating the restraining order by being here, I tell her. I'm your mother. You're a respondent in a protection order. Officer Martinez, I'd like to report a violation. Martinez approaches them. Ma'am, sir, I need to see some ID. That's when Vince loses it completely. You set us up, you fucking planned this. He lunges toward me. I step back, keeping my car between us, phone capturing everything. He grabs the second box, hurls it at my windshield, glass cracks. That's assault and vandalism, Martinez says, reaching for his cuffs. Vince runs. Actually runs, at 53 years old. He tries to sprint to his truck. Martinez calls for backup. 2 units arrive in under 60 seconds. They were waiting nearby, aware of the exchange. Mom screams as they tackle Vince. Police brutality. He didn't do anything. She provoked him. Ma'am, you're also under arrest for violating a protection order. I was just sitting in the truck. You exited the vehicle and approached the victim. It's on camera. As they're both cuffed, Vince shouts, When I get out, you're dead. You hear me? You're fucking dead. That's a terroristic threat, Officer Martinez notes. Add that to the charges. Mom wails. Avery, how can you do this? We're your parents. No, I say loudly enough for all the recording devices. You're criminals who happened to raise me. At 3:30 p.m., Rena files for a permanent restraining order with enhanced penalties for repeated violations. Grace Holloway, my civil attorney, files the lawsuit $76,000 in restitution, $30,000 for the stolen inheritance, $50,000 in punitive damages, plus legal fees. They'll never be able to pay, Grace admits. I don't care. I want the judgment on record forever. Wednesday morning, the church files their own charges. Criminal fraud, $4,800 in restitution. Plus, they're seeking $20,000 in punitive damages for damage to the church's reputation and mission. Local news runs the story again. Couple arrested again for violating restraining order. This time, they use both mugshots. The comment section is brutal. Thursday, Vince is denied bail, too many violations, plus the death threat on camera. Mom makes bail but has nowhere to go. Aunt Bethany refuses to take her. Uncle Rick blocks her calls. Even her sister Paula says, You made your bed. Diane. She ends up at a motel on the edge of town, the kind that rents by the week. The same motel where she once told me, only losers and addicts stay. Friday morning, forensic accountants Rena hired deliver their report, tracking the $600,000 Dad's life insurance provided. They found $200,000 lost to Vince's gambling, $150,000 on luxury purchases, cars, jewelry, vacations, $100,000 on Vince's failed businesses, $50,000 on Mom's shopping addiction, the rest on daily expenses while they refused to work, all gone in 8 years. Then they turned to me. The report also confirms the signature on Grandma's inheritance was forged. Mom faces additional fraud charges, this time federal since it involves estate fraud across state lines. Friday afternoon, I get a call from an unknown number. It's Mom, calling from the motel. I have nothing, she says. Are you happy I'm 61 years old and I have nothing? You have exactly what you gave me for 18 years, the chance to build something from nothing. Good luck. I hang up and block the number. That evening, I stand in my small apartment, looking at the spreadsheet one final time. Every transfer, every payment, every sacrifice I made thinking I was helping family. 7 years of financial abuse documented in rows and columns. I close the laptop. Monday. We go to court for the restraining order hearing. They'll play the recordings, show the videos, present the evidence. The judge will see what I've seen all along. Two people who viewed me not as family, but as a resource to exploit. The trap wasn't the police station exchange. The trap was letting them believe I'd always be their victim, that guilt and manipulation would always work. The real trap was giving them enough rope to hang themselves while I documented every inch of it. They chose violence. I chose evidence. We'll see which one the judge values more. The courtroom is smaller than I imagined. Monday, 9 a.m. Judge Patricia Thornton presiding. Vince shuffles in wearing Orange County jail scrubs. Shackled. Mom sits with her public defender, wearing the same dress she wore to my college graduation, the one I bought her. We're here for the permanent restraining order hearing in Cole versus Marlowe. The judge begins, I've reviewed the preliminary filings. Let's see the evidence. Rena stands. Your Honor, we'd like to play the audio recordings first. The courtroom fills with Vince's voice. When I get that money back from you, you'll regret ever being born. Then, you owe us everything, you ungrateful bitch. Finally, the death threat from the police station. When I get out, you're fucking dead. Mom shifts in her seat at each playback, her face cycling through emotions: anger, embarrassment, then something I've never seen before, fear. Now the video evidence, Rena continues. The doorbell camera footage plays on the courtroom screen. Everyone watches Vince shove me, hit me, while Mom stands in the background. Her voice is clear. Don't make this bigger than it needs to be. Avery. Mrs. Marlowe. The judge addresses her directly. You're watching your husband assault your daughter. Why didn't you intervene? Mom's lawyer whispers urgently. But she speaks anyway. She provoked him by cutting off the money she owed us. Owed you for what? For raising her, for giving her life. The judge's expression hardens. Ms. Cole, what money are we discussing? I stand. $76,000 over 3 years. Your Honor, I have the bank records here. While they were receiving church charity, Rena adds, sliding forward the fraud documentation. The judge reviews everything: the spreadsheets, the forged inheritance signature, the text messages where Mom admits to training me to feel guilt, the Facebook posts calling me their cash cow. Your Honor, Vince's public defender tries. My client was under financial stress. While stealing from his stepdaughter and defrauding a church, Judge Thornton cuts him off. I've seen enough. She turns to me. Ms. Cole, is there anything you'd like to say? I stand again, my voice steady. Your Honor, they taught me that family means sacrifice, but I learned family isn't about blood or obligation. It's about love, protection, and respect. They showed me none of those things. I'm not asking for revenge, I'm asking for safety and justice. The judge nods, then addresses Vince and Mom. Mr. Marlowe, Mrs. Marlowe, in 30 years on this bench, I've rarely seen such clear evidence of systematic abuse. You didn't just steal money, you stole trust, safety, and years of this woman's life. She continues, the permanent restraining order is granted for the maximum duration 5 years. No contact directly or through third parties. Minimum distance of 1,000 feet. Any violation will result in immediate incarceration. Your Honor, Mom starts. I'm not finished. Mr. Marlowe, I'm recommending the district attorney pursue maximum charges for assault, harassment, and terroristic threats. Mrs. Marlowe, you're facing charges for violation of the protection order and being an accomplice to assault. She picks up the fraud documentation. Furthermore, I'm forwarding all evidence of financial fraud to both civil court and the federal prosecutor's office for the forged inheritance. The court strongly encourages Ms. Cole to pursue full civil restitution. Mom breaks then. Not fake tears, real, ugly sobbing. Avery, please, I'm your mother. Mrs. Marlowe, control yourself or I'll hold you in contempt. The judge warns. But Mom can't stop. When did you become so cruel? When did you learn to set people up? I look at her directly. I learned from watching you, Mom. Every manipulation, every recording, every calculated move, I learned it all from you. The only difference is I used it for justice, not Exploitation. Vince explodes. You fucking bitch. Get him out of my courtroom. Judge Thornton orders. Add contempt of court to his charges. As they drag him out, he screams, "This isn't over. You hear me? This isn't over." "Yes, it is," the judge says firmly. "Mr. Marlowe, you've just earned yourself an additional charge and guaranteed prison time with that outburst." Mom reaches for me as her lawyer pulls her away. "Avery, don't let it end like this." "You ended it the moment you chose him over me," I reply. "You ended it when you watched him hurt me and asked about the next payment." Judge Thornton makes her final notes. "Ms. Cole, this court recognizes the courage it took to stand up to your abusers. The record will reflect that you were the victim of sustained financial, emotional, and physical abuse. You have the court's full protection." The gavel falls. It's over. Outside the courthouse, the sun is bright for mid-morning. Rena hugs me. "You did it." "We did it," I correct her. Grace Holloway joins us. The civil suit will proceed. With today's ruling, we'll likely get a default judgment for the full amount. Will I ever see the money? Honestly, probably not. But the judgment will follow them forever. Any assets, any inheritance, any windfall you'll have first claim. I nod. It was never about getting the money back. It was about making the cost of their abuse public, permanent, and legal record. My phone buzzes. Messages from Aunt Bethany, Cousin Marla, even Uncle Rick. "We're proud of you. Justice was served. You're welcome at Thanksgiving without them." Mrs. Keegan from St. Lucas texts, "The church is pursuing full prosecution. Your bravery inspired us to act." Jules pulls up in her car. Celebration lunch. As we drive away, I don't look back at the courthouse. I don't need to. Behind me are two people who gambled that guilt and blood would always bind me to their abuse. They lost that bet. The recording that played in court, "When I get that money back," was Vince's confession and his delusion. There was never any money to get back. It was gone the moment they took it, spent on their greed and wasted on their schemes. But my freedom, my future, my peace, those were never theirs to take. And now, with a judge's ruling and 5 years of legal protection, I'm finally free to live without looking over my shoulder, without guilt, without the family that was never really family at all. The sun warms my face through the car window as we head toward downtown Ridgeview. Somewhere behind me, Vince heads back to county jail. Mom faces an empty motel room and a future of her own making. And me, I'm moving forward, finally, into a life that's entirely mine. Thank you all for listening to my story. I'm curious to know where you're listening from. Please share in the comments below so we can connect. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on what you would have done in my situation. Your support means everything.